Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we got the new character Fenne and we also got Rift released, the new season of the Rift, which is for ice units only. In this video I'm gonna make a showcase and a guide both at once. You're gonna see how to clear the new Rift, and you're gonna see the build of the new character, see the performance of the new character, and also gonna explain how the new Rift works and possible teams, possible units that you can use. So keep watching, and I'm sure you're gonna learn something, and maybe it's gonna help you clear. So let's just go to the Rift menu. As you can see, I'm already level 8, but I'll start speaking how Rift works from level 1. When you first open Rift, the boss is gonna be less than half HP, and you can beat him with any kinds of ice units that you have built. And after you beat him once, you're gonna immediately reach level 2. And when you reach level 2, you're gonna get options between these three. And depending how you decide to play Rift, you're gonna use one of these three options. I'm gonna really quickly explain how to play with each of these three options. This middle option is when you want to use. It's good for basically Fenne. If you have Fenne, then you're definitely gonna be using this option. But later on, when you got higher level, then you can drop this because you won't need it anymore. But at the beginning, this is good, and it's only good when you have Fenne, nobody else. This option is good, but you kind of need more levels to use it, I think. Basically, the character you put on the front is gonna be doing more damage depending how many debuffs the boss has. But the character in the front is also gonna be taking massive damage, so it's kind of not that easy to use this until you get level 8, because on level 8 the character in the front is not going to take any high damage anymore. That's why at the beginning this is not suggested. So if you're using a team without Fenne, you're most likely going to be using this one. And if you're using team with Fenne, you're most likely going to be using this one. On level 8, things start to improve massively, because with this option you can put your DPS in the front and start using this and just do massive damage. Or you can still use this because this also gives a good amount of damage. Or you can use this if your Fenne is dying. But again, this is just for Fenne. Without Fenne, don't use this. This is good option if you're using Sigret and Chloe, because they're gonna be getting free attack buffs. It's a greater as well. It's a pretty nice boost for warriors because it's a greater attack buff. And this option is if you're using ice tank DPS. I actually am not sure which ice DPS tank you can use. Maybe Summer Charlotte, I don't know. I'll explore this at a later time, but yeah, this is not the option that you're gonna be looking at least I am not gonna speak about it. I'm not gonna go deeper into these because I have not unlocked them yet and I have not tested them, but they definitely is gonna make your Rift clearing even easier, because they're just massive buffs. Like just look at this. After a warrior, the back row attacks is gonna heal the team. Basically, this is most likely gonna let you not use sustain on the front row. It's just really good bonuses. When you reach these two, you're most likely gonna start being able to clear with all kinds of teams. But yeah, I'm gonna go through the mechanics of the boss just real quick. Basically, the boss is gonna be getting arc, which is undispellable buff, and for each arc, the boss is gonna be doing more and more damage. But the boss is mostly just attacking the front row, so everybody in the back is mostly chilling. Though you're gonna need some cleanses or immunities, so there's that. And all your team is gonna be sealed, and restricted, so don't bother using units that have passives or units that do combat readiness push. That kind of massively reduce the amount of units you can use, so it is what it is. And yeah, when you're attacking the boss with a buff character, the boss is gonna be getting the discharge debuff, and you can stack a lot of them. I think almost 10 or 10, and for each stack, the boss is gonna get debuffed. He's gonna be taking more damage, and it's decreasing his effect resistance, which is not that important, but taking more damage is pretty nice. And about the skills of the boss, he's gonna be doing burns. His punch is annoying because it applies 5-turn silence, and it's also doing a lot of injury, which is why when we reach to Fenne build, I'm gonna tell you that you need a certain amount of speed to make the timing good. This punch also ignores defense, so it's gonna do a lot of damage. And then there's the rockets that he is gonna spam very often. They apply unhealable, which is very annoying, and additional burn, which is also annoying. But yeah, overall the boss is not that hard, to be honest. Let's go through the teams. I already told you that at level 1 you can use whatever ice units you have built to kill the boss, and then reach level 2 and get your first buff. When you do that, if you have Fenne, what you can do is you can put her here, and you can, if you have Elena, let's see, where's my Elena? If you have Elena, you can put her here. You give her some artifact that cleanses. Dr. Beck is perfect, but there's other possible options. The set doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be counter. You want to have 200 effective resistance, so you can resist stuff. And then some bulk. The speed is not that important. I think mine probably is a little bit faster than she should be, but yeah. When I was level 2, I used this team, and I was getting clear in 2 runs. So 2-shotting the boss is not that bad with just 2 units. And additionally, what you can do is you can exploit. I mean, it's not exactly exploit, but you know, you can use imprints. So you see, this guy gives 96 attack. You can just slam him here, and when the boss starts, he's gonna kill him because he's naked and low HP. But the imprint stays, and the imprint gives attack to Fenne, and she definitely needs some attack, or HP, or critical, or chance. Depends how you build them. Like if you use Furious for imprint, he's gonna give you 12% crit chance, so you can have your Fenne on lower crit chance, and Furious is gonna help you cap. And yeah, that's the possibility. You can use someone like Tuna. She gives 12% to almost 13% HP. So there's options for imprints. Just make sure that the units you're using for imprints don't have gear and they're low level, so they can die immediately, because otherwise they're gonna be wasting turns. But yeah, after you reach level 2 on Rift, you can use this team to do it. And I'm gonna show you my Fenne build. It's the build I used almost all the time. I mean, I did some experiments, but this is the build I stopped at. The build, as you can see, I have as high critical damage as I can. I have critical cap because I don't want to use Furious Imprint, and but you can drop some critical rate and use Furious Imprint. For speed, this is very important. The speed is the most important stat. You want to be around this speed, 172, 173, maybe 174, but I think 74 becomes risky, and I think under 72 also becomes risky. The reason is because one of the skills of the boss is the punch, which silences. You don't want to get punched and silenced, because then you're not going to be proccing your skill 3 on Fenne, and without the skill 3, Fenne is not going to be doing the extra attacks. She's not going to get the rage buff. It just reduces her damage massively. But when you're playing in a duo setup like this, the boss is gonna be punching the front row, so you're safe with. You can use whatever speed here you want. But when you're playing solo Fenne, this is the speed you wanna be at. As for Bok, you're trying to get as close as possible to 20k. If you can go over it, good. If you can't, don't worry, because this character technically doesn't scale from HP. You just need the HP to not die. And defense, I think you can go lower than 1.3k. You can probably go 1.1k, but I prefer to go higher. 1.3, 1.4k, that's a sweet spot. And for attack, you don't really want to be exactly without any attack, because this character scales from attack. So having some attack is not bad. As you can see, I'm using attack boot. I found the use for these boots with high HP row and high attack and attack main stat, so they fit perfectly for her. But yeah, her imprint is nice. I would not suggest to pull her imprint, but maybe unlocking the B imprint is nice because it's a nice fast 6% HP. For artifacts, when you're playing solo, you want to use this one because the boss is doing unkillable. And if you don't dispel unkillable, you're basically gonna die. When you're playing in duo setup with Elena, you can use damage artifact. There's many damage artifacts. I can show you real quick, I guess. And they're also free, so there's that. There's Victorious Flag that you get from Guild Wars. And there's the free ones that we got. This one, it gives 20% damage. I think there was one more. It's this one. Again, 20% damage. So you can use either one of these, or you can use the Victorious Flag. That's your options for damage artifacts. That's when you're playing duo. When you reach level 8, you can start doing solo. But make sure you have similar stats, and more specifically the speed, because otherwise you're gonna get silenced and not gonna be able to kill the boss. Another options for Elena, since I'm sure people are gonna ask, I don't have Elena or I don't have built Elena, what can I use here? Basically, you can use healers. Angelica is a free character. She's gonna work. There's other characters like Emilia, who's limited, so not everybody's gonna have her, I guess. DN, who's limited, but so not everybody's gonna have her. I'm not sure, but maybe Montmoras is gonna work as well, and she is super free to play, so there's options. Now let me show you a team without Fenne, since people are gonna ask how to clear without Fenne. It's doable. It's not as good as Fenne, because Fenne can 2-minute or even solve it. And if you're not gonna use Fenne, you're gonna need a full team. The full team, let's start with your front row. You're gonna put you're gonna put Angelica. She is one of the best as a free to play. Then you're gonna use Furious, another very free to play character. Then you're gonna use another free to play character that you get for free, Secret. I removed Furious, just a second. My bad. Furious, and for the last slot, you're gonna put another very free to play friendly character. It's Alexa. And this team is gonna be able to clear, and it's gonna get even better as you get higher levels. But you're gonna need to have all of these characters built, and the builds gonna require specific stats. Like your Angelica is gonna need to have similar stats to Elena that I showed. Like you're gonna need to have 200 effect resistance and some bulk. Your Furious is gonna need to have 200 effectiveness because the boss has very high effect resistance. So that's kind of annoying, and he needs to be fastest in the team. Alexa is just gonna be built as damage because she's gonna be buffed and she's gonna be hitting the boss twice and just applying a lot of debuffs thanks to that. You're gonna be using her without skills. You don't need skills for her. You just want her to use her skill 1 because her skill 1 is attacking twice, and as I said, that's gonna apply debuffs fast. And then you wanna use your Sigret. The Wyvern build is gonna be working very nice. Just high damage. Rage set if possible, if not the destruction or attack set. Yeah, that's the strategy for a free-to-play team, just 3 units, and it's gonna work. But you're gonna need the build, so that's why it's not that free-to-play, thanks to the gear, but the units are free, everybody has them. Some additional changes, if you have Chloe, you can use her instead of Furious. It's better because Furious is wasting turns, and Chloe has the defense break with ignore resistance, so she doesn't need to build effective, so she can add to the damage. But at the beginning, you're gonna lose some of the buffs that Furious gives, because you know Furious gives buffs. But later on, definitely she becomes much better because warriors get attack buff. So having 2 warriors on the team is gonna be very strong. And on the front, I already told you that you can use a lot of Soul Weavers, but Angelica is probably one of the best because you just want to have buffs on this boss. Alexa is free, but she's replaceable. You want to use someone who's gonna be attacking a lot, so who knows? Maybe even Amiki is gonna work. Who knows? And Sigret, there's no reason to replace her. Everybody has her. She's free, so just use Sigret. That's for the free team. I'm not showing builds because I don't have this team built for Rift. I'm just gonna go back now to Fenne, and I'm gonna show you how I'm doing it solo, because on level 8 it's very much doable to solo. You can do it even earlier if your gear is good, but if it's not, you're gonna start a bit later. So you put Fenne on the front. The buffs that we're gonna be using are these. We're gonna use this one to increase our damage, and then we're gonna use this one to make us tankier. If we still struggle to survive, you can use this one, but then you're losing some damage, so maybe you're not gonna be able to kill it one shot. Anyway, we're gonna use Fenne on the front, and we can just start like that, but I'm gonna show you something. We're gonna be using imprints. So we're gonna use this guy. He gives almost 100 attack. We're gonna use this guy because he also gives almost 100 attack. And then I'm gonna use this guy because he gives 500 HP. And these characters, they're gonna die immediately on the start, but their imprints they persist after that. So they're gonna keep buffing my unit. And that's how you should do it. That way you can get additional stats. I already told you that if you're lacking critical rate, you can use someone like Furious. He has imprint, and he can give you critical rate. Anyway, don't bother putting artifacts on them because artifacts don't work after they die. So let's just go, and I'm gonna show you how Soul Run with Fenne works. As you can see, Potion Vial removes the unhealable and allows my Fenne to sustain herself. It looks scary because she is 50% injured, but being injured gives her more stats, so she likes that. And the boss doesn't really do that much damage on level 8 when you put Fenne on the front, thanks to that level 8 buff. So she's not gonna die, and even if she does die, she has one life additionally, just in case. So the most important thing is that you have the speed to never get punched in the face without immunity, because if that happens, you're gonna get silenced, and when you get silenced, you're not gonna use your skill tree, and if you don't use your skill tree, then you're not gonna get your rage, and if you don't get your rage, you're not gonna be doing extra attacks, and you're gonna be lacking the stats that rage gives. Also, as you can see, sometimes she gets very low HP, but she's not gonna die. As long as on 50% injury you're around 10k HP, you will not die. And again, even if you die, you have one extra life to revive, so it's not a problem. As you can see, when she uses skill 3, she loses the immunity, but she gets the rage. And why you need that specific speed is because she uses S3 and she then outspeed takes another turn before the boss takes turn, which allows her to put the immunity on, because when the boss does this punch that you just saw, he can silence her for 5 turns. Now she lost rage buff, so she's gonna do S3. I mean, the next turn she's gonna lose the rage buff. She's gonna use S3, and she needs to outspeed the boss and use S1 again. That's the timing. So look, now she's doing S3. She's applying rage buff, and she is gonna outspeed the boss and do S1, which is gonna give her immunity. And now when the boss punches her, she's not gonna get silenced. That only is doable if you have the proper speed timing. As you see, she has immunity and she cannot be silenced. Now she's doing S3 again, and she's gonna cycle to S1 again. When you get a higher level, because this is just day 1, so it's probably a bit early for people to have level 21 and the last level. But I think at the last level you get immunity, and when that happens, you no longer care about being silenced, and you no longer going to need to have potion vial. People are gonna be putting damage artifact, and they're gonna be clearing even faster than you see at the moment. And what you see at the moment is one turn, not one turn, but one run clear. And there are still 4 or 3 rounds until it was over. So I had time, and this is how it works. Let's just cancel it. Filter what we got. I'm gonna filter it later, and do the conclusion. Show the build again as well. Again, this is the build. This build is for sewing. On level 8, with this build, you're gonna be sewing, as you saw. If you wanna be sewing earlier, you need to have more stats than this. You need to have more HP. Your speed should still be the same, and you would need to have more critical damage. So I personally don't have that crazy of a gear to do it. So before level 8, I had to do it with a Soul Weaver in front. And it's okay if you don't have the gear to do it as well. Just do it, and then on level 8 you can start soloing. And if you don't want to pull this character, I showed you the free-to-play team that you can build. But yeah, the stats requirements are kind of high, so good luck with that. I just think that this character is a must pull if you want to farm Rift. It just makes it so much better, and Rift is the best place to get gear. Yeah, thank you for watching, and keep a lookout. I'll post more videos since arena season just ended. We're first week in the arena season. I can show you some teams I'm using to cleave or attack people. If people are interested, stay tuned, like, subscribe, comment, and you'll catch the next videos. Also, with the Guild Wars being changed, which is a big hype, I'll probably start posting even more Guild Wars. There's a lot of Guild Wars on my channel, so if you're interested, you can look at the channel and check out all the Guild Wars content I have posted. I'll post more in the future, especially when the Guild War changes happen, because hopefully Guild Wars is gonna be more interesting then. And thank you. Bye bye.